video, Avery talked about the fact that he had to sign a contract when he was 17 years old to stay in our home. Let me give you the backstory. In spite of getting accepted to many colleges, my wife and I decided that he would go to the university in our hometown for his freshman year. He could work, save his money, and then after his freshman year, he could transfer to any school that he wanted to. So in the summer leading to his freshman year in college, he was testing boundaries when it came to the rules of our home. He was displaying a little bit of attitude, staying out extra late, not even giving us the courtesy of a text message. He was just pushing the envelope. And then one morning in our kitchen, we had an argument that became very, very heated. And Avery just yelled out, "Man, I'm ready to go. I'm out of here." And I looked at him and I told him I was ready for him to go myself. Avery, going to pick up the story.
Well, a few hours later, he presented me two contracts. One, if I wanted to stay in the home, and the other, if I wanted to move out. And then he said, I only had 24 hours to make my decision. Internally, I was thinking, this is crazy. But in reality, our relationship was headed that way for a long time. We were so angry and so disconnected at that point in our lives. And again, I was 17 years old. So I felt like my choices were limited. And I ended up signing the contract to stay at home. But what turned out to be the low point of our relationship was simultaneously the turning point of our relationship. And really, that's because of the actions that my father took after I signed the contract.
Yeah, in those 24 hours, the realization came over me that I was very close to losing my son. This was the biggest argument that we had ever had, and it was really the tipping point in our lives. So I began to think about how I could reconcile the mess that we found ourselves in. And while there are many ways to solve conflict, here are 5 steps that I use and 5 steps that you can use to resolve conflict with your son. Step number 1, extend an invitation. That was my first step to humility. I invited him out for dinner so we could talk. I didn't try to force him to go. I simply invited him. I asked him to join me, and fortunately for me, he did. Step number 2, drop the ego. I apologize for my part in our relationship taking the downturn that it had. I told him I was trying to work on myself. I asked him to be patient with me. The thing about apologies, it's one of the most vulnerable acts that you can ever do. You're actually surrendering to someone. And sometimes as dads, we let pride get in the way. So we have to drop our ego. Step number 3, create a safe environment. I wanted to create a safe space for us to be able to have the conversation. That's why I invited him out to the restaurant. I did not want to remain in our home because our home was the place that most of our arguments and disagreements over the years had taken place. So I was looking to give him some psychological safety so he could relax a little bit, let his guard down. And fortunately for me, it gave me psychological safety to do the same. Step number 4, reignite the connection. When we went out to dinner, we noticed there was a basketball game on television, and that is something that we always connected with, sports. We had the opportunity to revisit some good memories as we sat there and watched the game. We ended up talking about some vacations that our family had taken through the years and even shared some funny family stories. And it reminded us of all of the good times that we had in spite of the bad times that we were going through.